Hi everyone, welcome to the last video in this series from Magical Worlds by Johanna Basford. I just noticed how much of a blue theme we've got going over this double page, but that's fine. We have our last bottle to do. Got a book underneath. Come in a little closer, but I'm going to have a look. I think we'll start near the bottom, so we can come in a bit closer. We might start with our mushroom. We've got our Castle Arts gold pencils today. Let's get you in the middle. There we go. Now let's have a little look at what we can do. Now we've got, let's see, we've got the top bit, we've got underneath. I'm just thinking of colours and what I'm going to do. Right, I am actually going to start with the stem, which is quite unusual for me, but why not? I'm going to use the oyster for half of it, because you can see it sort of looks like it should be striped, and that's how I'm going to colour it. So I'm going to use this one here, do the ones without the lines on for the oyster, but I am going to try to make it a little darker on the edges by making it a little bit more intense. It's hard, and that I don't know how easy that is with this palish colour, but we'll see what I can do. Just trying to build up a little bit more colour on the edges. I hope everyone's well today. It's really sunny today. It's forecast for rain, so I planned on making videos and not painting my benches, varnishing the benches ready to go in the garden. But I did, yesterday was dry, so I wiped them off with white spirit ready for painting. So they're sort of getting there, I suppose. So I've done that bit of the job and that bit of the mushroom. Now I am thinking, do we go old rose, do we go earth green, do we go towards a brown? What should we do? This is a slightly pinkyish colour, so I think I might stick with that. That's the almond, £2. I'm going to go with the old rose. I think we used this for our first house, didn't we? Over on this one here. But it's such a shame that this is one of my favourites and it's getting so short. And it isn't just because it's my favourite and I use it a lot. Sadly it broke a bit, but never mind. It happens, doesn't it? I'll have to just get a new favourite when it runs out. So it doesn't come in the smaller set of gold, Castle Arts gold. It only comes in this big set, so I have to use up a few more before I think about buying a new one. I don't think I need any more pencils. What do you reckon? Now I'm going to do this sort of underside bit where the sort of gills are, and I don't really want to go mega dark. I usually tend to do them in a sort of dark brown, really dark brown, like a unburnt umber or something, but I don't want to go that dark, so I'm thinking maybe I'll use the sepia. It's a little bit pinker. I think it might just work. Or will the sepia light? The sepia light's a little bit pink, so I'll use the sepia and we'll see how it looks. I think it should be a bit dark. What I'm going to do is start on this side, and where that line is there, that's going to be my darkest point, and then I'm going to fade it towards the edge like that. And I'm just going to do that on each one, and it just gives our gills a bit of texture, which I rather like. You don't have to do it like this. You might prefer to do it darker at the top or at the bottom, or just do it even. It's up to you. Yes, so I've got my benches ready. I did make an inquiry to a company who make custom made waterproof. I'm trying to decide which way to go. I think we'll do the opposite, so we'll start here and go to the edge. Custom made and waterproof covers for garden furniture, because what I want to do is, seats aren't in particularly nice order and they're hard, wooden, so I wanted to get some cushions to put on them. Now I've looked in a few places for cushions, and that one's got a lot bigger white gaps than that one, because I was yapping and not noticing what I was doing, but never mind. Now our mushroom is going to be, I think it needs to be orangey red, but I don't want to I don't really want to go down the sort of Chinese orange route. It's a bit too dark. I'm going to try a peach, see how it looks. I might decide it's too pale, but I'm going to give it a go. So here it is, peach. So I've got in touch with them to ask them if they could make us something. So my plan is that we've got a bench and it's a long piece of wood with 2 legs. Okay, the width of the bench, the piece of wood comes down for the leg, and then there's a support piece in the middle, across the middle underneath. Now the pieces either side of the leg, so the bench is this long and the legs are sort of, let's say, here and here. If you sit on the end, it tips up like a seesaw and you end up on the floor, which is quite funny, but not ideal. So what I thought I would do was get a cushion that only went up to where the leg is, so that you would sit on the cushion and not be tempted to perch on the end and end up on the floor. Hopefully it might just guide people away from doing that. And it would also mean we have a little bit where we could put a cup down, or a book, or whatever you might have in the garden if you're going to be out in the garden. So that was the plan. So I've written to them to ask for a sort of quote, or if it's something they could do. And I need the cushions to be attached to the bench somehow, because I don't want them to blow away. I had a look on Amazon. There are quite a few companies that do this sort of made to order garden furniture cushions, which I had no idea about, and they range from about £50 to £100 each, which sounds expensive, but if the material is UV protected and even the cushion itself inside is waterproof, so that where it's sewn, if the water gets in, it doesn't go mouldy, you know, and all that sort of thing. And of course, being made to order, they're going to be that much more expensive. So anyway, and the ones online were either UPVC leather, which I don't like because it wears out quite quickly. We've got some in various furniture. My son's chair has got it on, it's all shredding off. And I've got a coat with it on, it's all shredding off, so I didn't want that. So I wanted something more like an oilcloth, or, you know, printed polyester type thing, something like that. So this is what they had, and they had a variety of patterns. They had some really bright stripes, which I really liked. So and my husband liked them too. Really, we both liked the same thing. I know, hold on to your seats, people. So hopefully we can get a quote from them to do that, and then the benches can sit outside. They'll be under the balcony, so they will be slightly protected from the weather, but if they've got this yacht varnish on, which I've bought to put on them, then they will be ultra protected and just be a little addition to the garden. At the moment we've got no furniture out there, so you can't sit out even if you want to. I don't tend to sit out in the garden very much. It might make me do it more, but it will just make it look a bit prettier, which is what it was all about, really. And also getting the benches out of the garage. I'm going to go back to my old rose colour. Or am I? Yeah, and do the spots, I suppose. I'm going to leave a little white border around each one. Whoops. So that's what I was up to yesterday. My husband picked up a dongle from a shop to plug into our solar inverter so he can see how much power is being generated, which he thought was mega exciting. Yeah, anyway, it was £30, so I suppose it wasn't like a fortune, but I'm going to grab this sepia and I'm going to do a little bit in the centre of each one, just to really make them stand out a bit. Like sort of not a dot, like a little scribble. There we go. Now do I want to put a shadow under each one? Yeah, I'm going to use this to just put a bit of a shadow under. So yeah, so we did that. And that for some reason seemed to take up half the morning. Oh, I was helping my son with his essay. He's finished his second one, so that's good news. He's got 2 to go. One he's working on now, he's done hardly anything on. And then the other one is a group one, and they've written most of the website they had to write. And then they've got to do the essay itself, but they've got to do it together, so they're going to split it 4 ways, do 500 words each, so it's 2,000 words. It doesn't seem quite so daunting, I don't think, but I'm not the one that's having to write it, am I? Now, our little building, a cute little house. I was thinking, oh, it's a wooden shed, but you know, it really doesn't have to be, does it? And I was also thinking, oh, I'll just do it brown, but I think that's really boring thinking about it. So let's grab some nice colour. I'm going to grab this coral. It's quite a pale colour, but I think it will go well with our mushroom. And for a house that's growing out of a mushroom, it might make sense for it to sort of match it. I'm going to do the whole background of the house just in an evenish. I try and make it even, but it won't be, hence evenish layer of coral. And we'll see how it looks. Yes, it's sunny, and as I said, it was supposed to be rainy today, so I didn't start work on the varnishing. And the varnish we've got takes 6 to 8 hours to dry. So the plan was, I think it's 8 hours, to do a coat early in the morning, then leave them outside while it's dry, and then go back to it sort of mid-afternoon, bring them in at night because they're not supposed to be in a temperature below a certain amount, and then do the same tomorrow. They'll be done, because they need 2 coats, I think. It says 2 to 3, I'm hoping 2, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, the light peach is a little bit darker than the coral, and I'm going to use that just to add some sort of depth. Here it is, light peach. I'm going to put a shadow under the roof. That's going to be where I start, hoping that it will show up. I've also got to block up some holes in the wall by the balcony tomorrow too, while I've got my old clothes on and the weather's okay. Again, that might be a first thing in the morning job, and give it all day to dry. I have to double check the weather forecast, and I hope it's not going to rain, but I can protect them slightly with some bits and I don't know, something. Now the window frame I feel needs to be a little darker. I think actually we could go for this sepia on the window frame. We'll tie it all together. So that's my project for the rest of the weekend. Well, Monday isn't a weekend day, but sort of is. Now our roof, let's come down a tad. We've got this stripy effect, which is rather nice. I think what I am going to do is, I've got this sepia in my hand. I'm going to keep it in my hand. I'm going to do something odd. So on this stripe here, the first one, I'm going to make it darker here and then fade it down towards the bottom. On my next one, I'm going to do the reverse. And then I'm just going to work my way through. I don't know why I thought this was a good idea, but I've done it before. It's quite fun. I've never seen a roof like it, but then I've never seen a building growing out of a mushroom. So, you know, fun, imagination time. Yeah, so today what do we do? Didn't walk today, went in the car, went to the farmer's market, got groceries, unpacked groceries, cleaned house, and did a little bit of sorting, threw a handful of things away, found a handful of things to go in charity bag. That sorted my bedside drawers out properly actually, so that was good. I found a book to go. I've got another couple I need to add to the pile, and I'm not sure about my cookery books, but my boys are sort of not sure if they want them or not, so I haven't done anything there yet with them. And yeah, so got a few things to go. I found an old pair of specs. They're really cute, really tiny pair. My eyes are really small and deep set small eyes, and so I can wear like not quite kids glasses, but teenager size glasses, and these were those, and they are just the cutest pair, but I can't wear them anymore because I have varifocals. You've got to have a larger size lens in order for there to be space for the 3 layers of lens, and so sadly I can't wear a little pair anymore. I have to wear a pair that's too big for my face, which I find a bit annoying. And the fashion is, the glasses just don't suit me, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just not used to seeing me looking like that, if you know what I mean. So there is our interesting roof, I think. It makes it a bit more fun, doesn't it? Now we've got a bit of greenery to do here and here, so let's crack on with that next. I want to use olive type greens because I think it goes well with this sort of orangey colours. So I'm going to use an olive green first, and then we'll use something on these ones. These leaves look like bunting. I think it's really fun. I was going to get some bunting for the garden actually to sort of put on the fence to cheer it up a bit. But unfortunately I like sort of chintzy, Cath Kidston styly, you know, pastel colour, maybe a, what do you call it, a check, gingham, that's it, or little tiny florals. But my husband thinks that's really boring, so he didn't want that sort of thing. He wanted something really bright and colourful. It doesn't exist in the cadmium green pale, in this sort of waterproof bunting, because you have to have it made of oilcloth. And I found this really good stuff on, I think it was Etsy, I was looking, and not only was it made of waterproof oilcloth and double-sided, so that it was also weighted a little bit, so that when it blows in the wind or it doesn't curl up and things like that. I thought it was really good, but husband didn't like the colours, so we didn't get that. Yeah, so that was a bit of a shame. Oh, I haven't done this little line on the back of our mushroom. What colour is the mushroom? Can anyone remember? Is it peach or is it coral? I think it's peach. I'm going to do that line in peach and just hope that it's the right colour. Yeah, it is, look at that. I'm going to try and do it a little bit darker on the edges, here and here. So yeah, I had a bit more of a sort out, which is nice. You know, I found it's just random things, you know, in the drawer. There's a piece of paper. So, ooh, what's on the piece of paper? Nothing. A blank piece of paper in the drawer. Cool. Sepia for the door frame, because then it'll match the window frame. So, oh, that's exciting then. Blank piece of paper. And loads of manicure stuff, just like all over the drawer. And I've got a sort of purse, a zip up case, that's the word, for it. So, should we just put it all in there? Peach again for the door. I think that'll look quite nice. Yeah, so I tidied it all up, so that was really satisfying. And husband tidied up the top of the wardrobe. Now it sounds that our wardrobe is really short because the corner of our bedroom, we've got the stairs, the turn in the stairs to the attic in the corner, so I've got low height just in that corner. And I found this brilliant wardrobe which was low, so you can basically only hang shirts in it, you know, it's that sort of height. And very useful and good low height. I'm trying to choose a yellow, by the way, for the windows. I think the golden yellow is going to work well. It's quite a dull yellow, and I think anything sort of orangey, browny, bright and shiny would just look a little bit odd with these colours, in my opinion. So I'm doing this sort of slightly lighter, less shiny colour. I don't know what I'm saying. So here's our lamp. I'm using the same colour. We'll do a slightly darker flame, maybe orange. I'm trying to decide what colour to do this bit of the lamp. I think we will go for a grey. We could try and make it look a little bit silvery. Let's use the granite. No, sorry, the graphite. It's not granite, it's graphite. It's actually a shiny pencil, a metallic. I don't know why in this gold set there are two metallic pencils. The green gold and the graphite actually have shiny pigment in, whatever you call that. Shiny pigment is what I call it. I'm thinking about those butterflies. I'm thinking hard about those butterflies. And we've got these little florals down here. Now, what colours are we going to do that could work with our orangey brownies colours? See, I'm thinking pink isn't going to work. Blue. It doesn't feel right, and purple doesn't feel right. Red would work, like a dark red. Oh, sorry. Right, let's go for, let's grab a scarlet red first. And, where are you? Scarlet red, there you are. And what I'm going to use this for is these. Now, I don't know if these are mushrooms or flowers, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to just fade this red, scarlet red, sorry I didn't show you, scarlet red, down to the bottom of each one. And if they're mushrooms or flowers, I think this colour works. They stand out quite a lot, but that's good. And I think the tone of colour works with our other colours. There we go. We might do the ground first before we finish this bit, and then go up and do our butterflies at the end. You can't see them all anyway at the minute. Then I'll have to decide on what colour I do the bottle / background. But we've got a lamp burning, so it's sort of night time, maybe. Okay, we have grass again. I think it would work if I use the cadmium green pale again, like I did for this grass, do it the same. I feel that it would make sense for it to be the same. Now we have some stones for it to be growing out of, as well as some moss. So we have a bit of fun with some different colours down here at the bottom in a minute. Just looking and seeing what's what. I think these are the stones and all the rest of this is sort of mossy grass. There we go. Right. Now what green to do for the sort of ground? We could go leaf green light and go lighter, but I'm not sure it's really going to quite work. A leaf green deep might be our best option. Yawning away. I am yawny today, tired. I went up to bed a bit earlier as well. Oh, I was reading. The boys were late, so I didn't actually end up going to sleep any earlier. I'm trying to put this on quite roughly in a sort of circular motion to look a bit like a bush. It's quite blunt. I think I'm going to sharpen it. There we go. I've been trying to think of a few ideas to get my YouTube channel seen a little bit more by more people. So I've been promoting it in various different places just to see what happens really. But I was going to ask you guys a favour that, you know, if you're a part of a colouring group and you're allowed to share videos you enjoy, or you know, if you've got a social media account and you share stuff, you know, it'd be lovely to have a little share. If that's the sort of thing you do, please, that would be really, really nice. But also, you know, if you just click like or subscribe or comment on the video, that all really helps as well. So that's really grand. And what it means is that we can share the joy of colouring with more people. I think you know, adult colouring was all trendy at one time, and now the trend is dropped. But obviously there are still groups of us that enjoy it. and I still think there's so much benefit to be had from it, which a lot of people don't really get because they don't know about it or they don't do it. I'm just looking at these rocks trying to work out what colour, and I'm going to try the almond. It is quite a pale colour. It maybe end up being a little bit too pale, but I'm going to try it first, and then I'm going to leave it right until we've done the background colour to see whether it needs darkening up. Because it doesn't stand out that well from the white, but once we've got a you know, a blue, which we're going to be using for the background. I'm just trying to pull you down. There we go. So we've got all our butterflies. Oh, haven't done the candle. Hang about. Here it is. It's really tempting to do it this scarlet red colour, but I think that's a little bit too similar to the flowers. I think I'm going to use one of the slightly darker reds, the henna brown. It's quite striking still. And then the actual flame, I think I'm just going to use the marigold colour. It's quite close to the peach, but it's got that orangey hint which we'll need just to show that it's a candle. Now let's come down again. So our butterflies all have quite small bodies. I'm going to just use a grey. I think I might use a warm grey. What do we have? We actually have a warm grey. I think I might just go for that. Warm grey. I will need to sharpen it though. Come in a tad closer. So here it is. It's just called warm grey. And each head and body in this colour. Now I want these guys to be quite intensely red, like the colour that we used for the candle. What did we use? I think we used henna, didn't we? I'm tempted to use the magenta, so that's what I'm going to do. Magenta. And I'm going to do them all the same colour, despite the fact that they are all drawn differently. I think it'll just work quite nicely with them all being the same colour. But you can have a look when I'm done and decide whether you would prefer to do them in different shades of red or even completely different colours. But I think because they're drawn differently, doing them in the same colour can almost bring them together as a little group. I'm trying to make them a little darker, more intense, more layers of colour near the body, and a bit less as we come out to the wingtip. There's a lot of magic in the air, isn't there? You see all the little dots and sparkles. It's rather cute. Yeah, I was trying to think what to do later today. I really decided to edit this video. And then I probably need to start a new series, but I'm not sure what yet. I haven't really decided beyond this one. I know what else I can do in this book, but I've got other books. Yeah, I've got that World of Flowers one that I was in the middle of, which I need to do one of this month. But I think I'll just need a one-off video after this one, and then it'll be planner day. So I need to think of something, just a one-offy thing. That'll be interesting. So there they all are, quite very vibrant, aren't they? Right, I think I have done all I'm going to do at the moment, apart from the background of the bottle. Let's just move it up. Now, I'm having a look at our colours. We've got a darkish blue here for the night time, a lighter one here. Now here we've got lantern and on and things like that, so it could be it could be night time. I'm actually just going to use the golden yellow to draw the lines out of the lamp like this, which we did on our first one, just so it matches. Now I'm looking at my blues, so we've got a really pale blue, a cobalt, cerulean blue middle. Sorry, what did we use yesterday? I can't even remember. That was the cobalt blue deep. We could go indigo and then we'd be really different. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go indigo. Indigo light it's called. And basically we just want to colour in the whole of the bottle with this. Now I don't want to necessarily layer it up too much because it will get very dark and intense. Just keeping it quite light still gives this impression that it's quite dark blue without sort of overpowering the whole picture. Now we've got these circles. I'm going to try to colour around them if I can. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. Okay, a dog barking. So I'm sort of thinking, I'm getting quite close to the end of my spring clean really, but I'm thinking I don't want to stop. You know, do I start again once I finish? Well, I haven't done, there's certain areas of the house that I haven't done. I haven't done the kitchen because when we had the kitchen done, we sorted through a lot of things then. And also haven't done my children's bedrooms and stuff. And I think my one son's going to be starting work, so he might not have time. But my other son is going to be on a long holiday, so I might take some time with him in his room to have a good old sort out. His room is really bad. It's not his fault. He's in the attic and he's got everyone's stuff in his room. He was told that, you know, on condition of him having the big room, he would have to put up with that, but it's got a bit out of hand. A bit unfair, I think. So much stuff. I have had to sort through some of his stuff. There's lots of Lego, for example, and we got rid of a lot of his their school books and things like that a few years ago. I sort of kept it all, and they were like, "Why are you keeping this, Mum? Just get rid of it." And I was like, "Okay." So I've got a few of their books from the nursery, maybe? I don't know. But that's about it. Just because they're so cute. But I may not. Those aren't in his room, so that's up to me to sort out. I've got a sort of box of stuff that I put together of theirs from when they were little. First shoes and first proper drawing and a few cards and that they made and things like that. So yeah, sentimental things. As long as they all fit in the box, which they don't at the moment, I think I just need to get the box down and reshuffle it really. I've also got a wedding box with my wedding shoes in. I'm wondering whether I shouldn't really keep them, whether I should just, because they don't fit me anymore. My wedding dress doesn't fit me either. It's too big. My wedding dress is too big, the shoes are too small. I was bigger when I got married than I am now, which is quite rare, I think, but anyway, it was fine. And so it's really baggy on me, and I've tried it on a few times. The shoes, they pinched anyway, but my feet have just sort of spread a bit because I wear bigger shoes than I did then. And so, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. It's hard, isn't it? I mean, if I had a purpose to my cleaning and sorting, apart from the fact that I just fancy having a clean and a sort out, you know, if I was moving to a tiny house or something, then yes, I would just have to be brutal. but I don't have to. But I do want to not keep unnecessaries. I've made up a new term, unnecessaries. Now I've done this really lightly. I don't know if I've done it a bit too light, to be honest, because if I try and put a white line over it, it won't work. So I'm going to have to layer it up a bit. So I'm going to come back over it again. But yes, I've kept it quite a slow, long process, partly because I'm rather enjoying it, and also it means that once I've got a pile of stuff, I can take it to the charity shop or whatever, and it's not overwhelming piles and piles of things, you know. Because if I have bags and bags of it, I get tempted to take it all at once and then do my back in or something. But anyway, but I've managed to find my husband a set of exercises that he rather liked doing, so that was interesting. It's a 5-minute workout, so it's really quick and it's really basic, and you can build on it. It's a sort of your own body weight type workout, which is you do some lunges, you do some tricep exercises, I think they are. You do some squats. I can't remember the other 2 things, but they're like 5 different exercises. You just do 10 reps of each, and it just gets you going, and you can do it like while the kettle's boiling or something like that. And they're a great little set. They're Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, he's got a video, or he advertised them actually in his newsletter this week, and I'd forgotten about them, so I sent it on to my husband and said these might be good, because he'd been looking for something that's going to work for him, and he felt was rather good, so that was good. I do try sending him little bits and bobs, and sometimes it's not right, and sometimes, you know. So yeah, that's good. And he says, you know, lots of people do it, lots of different ages, different abilities, and what you can do is, as you get stronger, you can do more reps, or you can introduce some weights to some of them. Like if you're doing a lunge, you can have a kettlebell or something. I don't know how that would work. I'm not sure. One of them, he said you could have a kettlebell. I can't remember. But maybe when you're doing the squats, you can hold one. I don't know. But anyway, you can hold a chair, you can hold the worktop table, whatever. So it's designed for you, even if you haven't got great stability or core strength, you can still have a go and sort of build up your strength. So I thought it was a really good start. So I was really pleased that he actually did them. He liked them, and he had a go this morning while he was microwaving his milk for his coffee. So that was great. I was really, really pleased. But I have been, and I'm feeling a lot more relaxed now. I've been doing more meditation, which has been good. My son's got a couple of his essays done, which I think has helped me a little bit, but he's still got a lot to do. So I don't think it's completely that. Okay, we're going to do the top of the bottle now. What I'm going to do is very similarly to how I did this one, just put more layers on the edge. Just do one of those at a time. And then a bit less in the centre. I want to do the same with the dog barking. Oh, we also got some fly screens, insect repellent mesh, I should call it. I can't remember what the website was where we got them, but so good. Basically, it's, if you want to know, message me, I'll find it. Basically, you apply Velcro to your window frame. We had to apply it to the wall because it was Velux, and it just, the window frames are wooden. It just didn't quite work. But that doesn't matter. Normally, you would apply it to the window frame and cover the whole area of your window, the one that opens, with the mesh. And finding my white pen, and then I'm going to draw on my bottle whites like we did on these, and then I'm going to decide what to do with my butterflies because they're too plain. Yes, so you've put this Velcro on, and then you can just put the mesh, take the mesh on and off when you want to open and close the window. So my son is absolutely thrilled with it in his room, and it does make it darker. You can choose a white mesh, but he chose a dark one, so it does make it a little bit darker, but he doesn't mind. I'm going to put some white dots on our butterfly here, on all of them. They're just looking a little bit too plain for my liking. There we go. So we're going to order some more for we're going to order one for the my husband suggested getting one for the window in here, but I can't actually reach it because the desk is in front of the window. Unless you kneel on the desk, you can't open or close the window. So, and it isn't really, I'm going to do these circles with the white. It isn't really completely necessary because it doesn't get that hot in here. I'm going to go over the dots as well with white. I think it'll show up. You may struggle to see what I'm doing, but I'm just going over the top of the little starbursty marks and the dots that Johanna has drawn on the background. I might end up making a few up because I can't really see them, but I don't think that matters. And we'll do those stars at the top as well in a moment when I get there. But yeah, so we're probably going to measure up our other windows and order some more. So they came fairly quickly. I think it takes them a sort of 2-3 days to make them. They're bespoke, obviously you give the measurement. And what we did was we measured it a little bit too big because we're sticking it to the wall, not the window. But the others will be sticking to the window, so we'll have to get it right. And yeah, they were a great success. So he now doesn't have to swat. He said last year while he was making his videos, he was swatting hoverflies all the time, and now he won't have to. I'm coming a tad close to take a photo, a bit too close, but I think we are almost done. Actually, we're going to go over this again, make it look a bit whiter. That's better. And then, oh, it should be a straight line. It's very wibbly, but never mind, it's the best I could do. And then we'll put it in the middle so we can look at the whole page. There we go. So we've got 3 different colour blues, and our houses inside. They're so cute. Johanna's drawn them so beautifully. So that is that one. We're getting towards the end of the book, but I still have a fair few to do. I've definitely got one in mind to do with you, and then I haven't got any ones with that the pictures are broken down like this one into 3, but I might just do some bigger pages and things. I'll have a think. But for today, that is me done. So thank you very much for watching. Let's try and make the page flat so the bottles, they look very wibbly wobbly along the bottom where the page is slightly turned. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and happy colouring.